One of my favorite pieces of budget tech to review are gaming headsets because they show just how much value can be found if you're willing to forego something named brand. Now, purchasing a product from a company with zero name recognition can be a little unnerving, but today's example is definitely one of the good ones. The Jeeco J20 is an over-ear gaming headset that retails for about $20. And if by the end of this review you decide to pick one up for yourself, please consider using one of our affiliate links to do so. Alternatively, you can help support us by purchasing our awesome shirts over on Cotton Bureau. The unboxing experience is a little bit lackluster with minimal packaging, and it includes a headset, a 3.5mm splitter, and a user manual. The headset is mostly black plastic with silver accents, and the ear cups have a very glossy material that covers the surface, and the bulky and angular design is basically par for the course when it comes to gaming headsets in 2019. It's very lightweight at just over 300 grams, but still feels sturdy enough. It doesn't rattle when you shake it, and doesn't creak when you bend it. It has leather ear cups and leather padding to keep your head comfortable, an adjustable headband to fit heads of all shapes and sizes, a braided cable to make sure it lasts a long time, a folding microphone to keep it out of your face when you don't need it, and it supports compatibility across many different systems. A 3.5mm connection is included for use with consoles such as the Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation, but also included as an adapter so that you can use it with your personal computer. My personal experience with the headset is very telling. My day-to-day use, for example, wasn't super great. Some things weren't really thought through, like, for example, ear cups being made of a glossy plastic means they're going to be constantly covered in fingerprints. And having the splitter at the end of the long cable means that if you're going to be using it with console, you're going to have a long spool of cable sitting in your lap. Honestly, if you're going to be using this with console, don't ever unwind it because the length that comes out of the box is perfect for using it with a controller, and the braided nature of that cable means if it's sitting on your desk, it's going to transfer a lot of that noise, cable noise, into your ears almost like a stethoscope. But controls on the cable are pretty hard to find, and as a general rule, I'm opposed to having these little modules in the cable line. The symbols are hard to see, and I constantly forget whether mute is pressing up or pressing down, so I have to look at it. And when you look at it, the way you would be looking at it from the perspective of wearing the headset, all the symbols are upside down. You kind of have to turn it if you want to read what it says. It's not really great, not very well thought through. It'd be much better implemented if the controls were on the headset, but I understand it's more expensive to do it that way. However, the clip on the back of that little module is a nice touch that I've not seen before. As you can hopefully hear, the audio quality is surprisingly good, especially from such an affordable device. It's not the best microphone I've ever used, but it's definitely up there. Again, very commendable. It does, however, not mute when you lift it up, which is something that we've seen on other devices, and it kind of begs the question, why have it tilt up in the first place? When everyone can still kind of hear you, it's muffled, but you can obviously still hear what's going on. And there's no filter on the end, so it is susceptible to vocal plosives, but considering the distance away from your mouth and its position, that shouldn't really be too much of an issue. The only thing that is an issue is that it is really, really quiet. So I'm speaking at an elevated level, and I may have to even adjust it a little bit in post and turn up the volume on that a little bit so you can clearly hear what I'm saying. But overall, very impressive. Definitely one of the most commendable aspects of the Jeeco J20. It's decently comfortable, again, considering what you're paying for, and the headband seems to do a decent job of distributing weight evenly across your head, but considering how lightweight the headset is, that shouldn't be that difficult. It squeezes the side of my head just a little bit too tight, but hopefully that should loosen up with time. And my ears get a little bit hot after a while. They don't breathe very well. It's not uncomfortable, it's not painful, but I'd say any longer than 2 hours and you'll probably want to take this thing off. It produces a surprisingly clear sound. I was definitely not expecting that. And the bass is equally surprising. It's actually pretty good. It's designed to look kind of like an open back design with the mesh on the outside. And so I was a little bit excited to see that, but it is not open back. It is closed back, so you don't get that open soundstage that sound signature you'd expect from an open back headset. But even though it's closed back, it leaks noise like an open back headset, so be careful what you're listening to because everyone else around you will definitely hear it. Now, it does sound pretty great and it gets decently loud, but anything over like 75% volume capacity, it just completely degenerates into a mumbled mess of static, and it just sounds horrible over like 75% volume, so definitely keep that in mind. The utility that can now be found in a $20 headset consistently surprises me. If you're a casual gamer with a particularly tight budget, the Jeeco J20 is definitely something that you should consider. No, it's not going to compete with more premium devices on the market, but it was never designed to. It does, however, check all the major boxes that most consumers are looking for, and at a pretty competitive price. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you appreciated this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in other budget headset reviews that we've done, then check out those videos over here. And if you want to purchase our merchandise, also check that out in the video description. Down there, you will also find links to purchase the devices we mentioned in this video, and also enter giveaways that we run basically every month. So make sure you're always checking that video description to know when those are going on. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe so you know when our newest content is ready to watch. And we'll catch you in the next one.